Welcome in, everybody. I'm meteorologist Ben Derry along with meteorologist Jamie Cagle, here to talk a little weather over the next 15 minutes. So strap in, we got some good stuff that we're going to talk about, especially considering the fact that it has been so quiet lately. It's been very summer-like. There's very little for us to talk about, Jamie.
Yeah, what are we going to talk about?
We got time.
Oh, we do. We're gonna kill some time here. But yeah, as far as the forecast is concerned, the way the pattern is setting up right now, we're going to hold on to the heat, but it's looking like that humidity will drop off nicely, which I don't know if anyone out there is a fan of it. I can deal with the heat. Bring the humidity down.
Right.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I had time in Florida and time in Arizona, and I opt for that Arizona heat over the heat and humidity of Florida. That's just how I feel about it.
It's funny how when you had mentioned about your time in Arizona, you're like, 100 degree, it's fine. You know, it's a dry heat. And I get that because yesterday we had temperatures that were near 90, but it wasn't like that oppressive heat that you'd see later in June or especially July. It wasn't that oppressive heat. It was more tolerable. And that's the kind of heat that we're dealing with. And for those of you who are just joining us who are hoping to get a forecast right off the bat, let's get to it. So sunshine outside today. Let's go ahead and take Max 1 and we'll show you. Outside, it is mostly sunny. You can see it is, we've got just a couple of high clouds overhead. Those are stemming from some dissipating showers that we saw over the Dakotas earlier this morning. More summer heat today. We should be back up near 90 today, just slight cooling as we head into tomorrow. There's a spotty chance for rain this afternoon. We have a lingering frontal boundary, which will give us some, again, isolated showers. Any outdoor plans should be a go, but you might have to briefly interrupt that for just a minute or two. Hot but lower humidity as we head deeper into the forecast, which again is going to make it feel more tolerable. This is today's forecast. Sunshine, 89 is our forecast high. That would make it the warmest day of the season so far. We hit 88 degrees yesterday, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of an undercut. We'll probably reach 90 degrees today. That would be the first 90 since October 4th. Of last year. And your 7-day forecast has a couple more opportunities of getting near 90. We see a slight dip as we head into Thursday, but otherwise we stay dry. It's a very quiet weather pattern, so day-to-day conditions are probably not going to change much. You might notice a bit of a northeast breeze tonight as that frontal system moves overhead and this Canadian high-pressure system moves overhead. That will give us that drier air. You can see sunshine through the weekend, though. We don't have any serious rain chances, just a little up and down with the temperature, but temps as a whole staying between about 10 and 15 degrees warmer than average. Jamie, your thoughts?
My thoughts are, that is a toasty warm forecast. Great stretch of weather if you're just wanting to be that outdoor enthusiast right now, saying, you know what, I love summer weather. I got a lot of things I want to do outside, whether it's outdoor projects, time on the water, time in the water. Albeit those lakes are going to be warming up with this kind of heat. I mean, they're still cold. Let's not kid ourselves. Definitely going to shock the system if you jump in the water. But boy, a stretch of 7-8 days of 80. Yeah, those lakes are going to be warming up nicely. But with that lower humidity, again, I think it's a real treat. But I just worry, like down the road, you're talking dry weather, and if we're already this hot, and if this is going to be the overall trend, it could be a long summer.
I think I want to go back to I think it was 2021 or 2022, something like that. We had a stretch of June where it was super hot and super dry for the entire month, and it really set off for a tough season for growing things. Grass was going dormant super early. We had people that were complaining that their gardens were just parched and all that stuff. You hope we don't transition into that kind of environment, but at least over the next week or so, it's kind of nice to say, hey, it's been a while since we've seen a longer stretch of these summer-like temperatures. We have that, and we also don't have the humidity as well.
Yeah, if we can enjoy this, but then kind of get back to a normal pattern, just say, okay, this is a little anomaly. A week of just incredibly summer-like weather early on in the season, that I think would be the better headline. But if we say this is foretelling what's to come for the rest of our summer, I mean,
jury's still out.
Yeah, definitely. We're expecting that El Nino to kick in as we go through the year. This would be very early. We're not in super El Nino as the forecast has been suggesting. We wouldn't expect this right now. So I hope this is an anomaly because, again, you think about the farmers. You You think about if it's very dry, we could have wildfire concerns, crop concerns. We could have water restrictions. There's a lot that can happen. And again, I don't want to be the dark cloud here. But it just makes me nervous because our seasons around here, we cherish each and every one of them. We want them to be fantastic seasons.
One thing I am a little more concerned with is, so right over us right now, we have this big ridge of high pressure, right?
Yeah.
It is typically a quiet weather pattern that gives us lots of sunshine and warmer than average temperatures. This ridge extends from the north central U.S. deep into central Canada, right? So you've got places that don't have a whole lot of access to. We're talking very rural areas of central Canada where if a fire does get going, it's basically going to continue to burn until it burns itself out. We've seen this in years past where parts of central and northwestern Canada get these out of control wildfires, and that smoke ends up billowing into our neck of the woods. So at least in the short term, that's something to be mindful of. Of course, central and northwestern Canada, they're just now getting into their spring season.
Yeah.
So there's probably still some ice on some area lakes, in the Canadian prairies. So
and they don't have the green vegetation like we do. And again, that's what they have right now. It could go up very quickly.
Yes.
We'd have some big prairie fires up there. And again, we saw what happened the last couple of summers we've had around here. Western Canada and the wildfires, the forest fires in there, and just how long those went on. And with those prairies, the Canadian prairies, I mean, they could go up just as easily, if not even faster.
And that's something that we really can't predict now, but if what we see over the next week continues deeper on, that's when we start to see issues. But we don't see that really taking place. It looks like this, we're in a blocking pattern right now where the day-to-day conditions aren't going to change very much. But if we do stay in that, then we have concerns. But it does look like once we get into the middle part of next week, this ridge kind of begins to break down a little bit.
Yep.
We should see more of a progressive systems moving through, which should give us hopefully some beneficial rain.
Yeah, we'll probably set ourselves up for some pretty rough weather as well when this pattern finally breaks apart.
Usually happens, right?
Usually you can kind of count out, like if this, the Omega block we call it, we've show maps all the time of that. Yeah, when that collapses and all of a sudden these lows start to race across, that's going to set us up for strong weather, severe weather, but good rainfall coming in there as well. It'd be great, I think, if it fell apart, the Omega fell apart, and we just got a day of showers.
That would
be perfect. But you know what? We don't control the weather.
No, well, it's always, I feel like that's always the case where we think the grass is always greener, right? We're in winter and we're like, man, it'd be great if we had summer. And then we finally get some like warm, sunny days and we're like, man, we could really use some clouds and some rain right now.
Yep. But I think that's life here in the upper Midwest.
Yeah,
we're always
of course. So
complaining.
Let's pull up the graphics again because this month of May has been kind of weird so far. I mean weird, it's been pretty normal. Honestly, it's been warm the last couple of days, but as a whole, temperatures are running cooler than average. And the graphic you're looking at just shows our daily high temperature from the 1st until yesterday. Blue corresponds to temperatures that were cooler than average. Red is warmer than average. And you can see we've had a week of cooler weather, followed by a week of warmer than average weather, followed by another cooler stretch. And remember we had last week, we had high temperatures in the 50s. I remember last Tuesday, Wednesday, where it was chilly. I mean, it felt like mid to early April, not late May, but we've since turned the page and we've had temperatures that are starting to, stay warm. Before this last weekend, I think we only had a handful of days that were 80 degrees or warmer. Now we've got 3 in a row. We're going to get 4 today, and we could see 10 days in a row, 80 degrees or warmer. A major contrast, Jamie, from what we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, those last couple of red days there, in the second full week, those are just barely above average. Those are a few degrees, and then it just flipped like a switch, and all of a sudden we're into the 80s.
Yeah.
We did get that cold snap though. I think it's qualifies as that when you have mid and low 60s, and then even that Tuesday at 55. But yeah, that was a solid stretch of some pretty cold weather for us, albeit it wasn't terrible weather.
And so far this month, as far as rainfall goes, it's been kind of feast or famine. Right?
It really has.
The first half of the month, it was one of the driest starts to May on record. Then we saw that heavy dose of rain for back-to-back days, a couple Sundays ago. We've had a little bit of rain last weekend. But if we don't see anything today, which it's not looking super likely, it still looks like, rain-free weather for the next week or so. I mean, could we be looking at flash drought type of situation, Jamie?
Certainly. I mean, other than, again, that Sunday, Monday there, it, as you said, feast or famine. Even on those days, yeah, there's 6, 7 green days there. It's not much other than that Sunday, Monday combo there. That's been about it. And this time of year, we should be averaging nearly an inch a week. And you can see that we are really falling way behind.
Just to prevent ourselves from going into drought, and you combine that with these warmer than average temperatures that are going to be well into the 80s, 10 to 15 degrees warmer than average over the next 7 to 10 days, it's still going to be, it's going to be a while before we see more seasonal temperatures. Keep in mind the average high for today is like 73 degrees, something like that. Yeah. But of course, as Jamie mentioned, the dew points are tolerable. These are dew points this morning in the upper 50s to low 60s. We can do that. That's fine. It feels a bit muggy, and notice those dew points in the 40s in the northeastern corner of the state. That's the dry air that's going to move overhead as we head into your Thursday. That's going to help it feel even better outside.
Yeah. You look out towards west central Minnesota, you get to those mid 60s, and again, that's when you walk outside. Even if it's not really hot, you still kind of feel it in the morning, and then you get into the afternoon and you spend any time in the sun. You can feel yourself kind of roasting a little bit there, like a little bit of a sauna. Now, again, these aren't low and mid 70s. These aren't oppressive dew points. They're noticeable, and again, I just feel like we had about 2 minutes to acclimate to this summer-like weather. It just came on real quick over the weekend, and we didn't kind of ease into it. So I think this drop in humidity, I think a lot of folks will appreciate it. They'll notice it, and again, I think it'll be a week of people just like, this is great weather.
Yeah, for sure. So this is our radar satellite composite. We had some dissipating showers over the Dakotas this morning. Now we're just seeing some high clouds moving overhead, filtering our sunshine a bit. And with a little bit of moisture in place, there is still a small chance that a spotty shower or thunderstorm could develop later today. Areas with the best chance, that's off to our east. You can see that green color. That's a marginal risk for severe weather. It includes areas in central and eastern Wisconsin where we could see some hailers, maybe some locally strong winds as well. There's a weak disturbance that's passing over Lake Superior right now that's kind of dropping that direction. That's where the best chance for storms are. There's that lingering frontal boundary we talked about. So we had some storms fire up along that yesterday. It's kind of still in our neighborhood. We're going to pause this afternoon. You can see as that high pressure system moves in. Behind that front, we have that northeasterly flow pattern. So it's kind of a fun time of year where it's a whole lot warmer away from Lake Superior than right near the lake. And you can see, zooming in a little closer, as that high kind of settles in right on top of Lake Superior, looking at temperatures that are near the lake, like in the 50s. So it's pretty wild. So a lot of people will travel to, Duluth and up the North Shore once we get into the, tail end of spring and into early summer. And you really have to watch the forecast, not for Duluth, but specifically near the harbor. So this is a fun tip from someone who's lived in Duluth. If you're traveling up there, don't look at the forecast for Duluth. Look at the forecast for Sky Harbor, not that Sky Harbor, Jamie. That's not
the airport.
Not the airport in Phoenix, Arizona. Sky Harbor, the airport near Park Point, because you're probably going to be traveling to Park Point. That's where you're going to see the true forecast for near the lake. Because if you look at the forecast for Duluth, it's probably going to take conditions up on top of the hill. And they're like, oh yeah, it'll be sunny and 80. Well, with an onshore breeze, it's going to be a whole lot cooler. So we're into that season where Lake Superior makes its own weather, where it can be 80, 85 degrees on the hill. You go right down to the lake and it's like 50 degrees.
Yeah, got that big refrigerator sitting with the door open.
Free air
called Lake
conditioning.
Superior.
Yeah.
If you look at the other Sky Harbor, you're going to think, well, there's no way Duluth is going to be 105 today. That's the wrong Sky Harbor there.
Wrong Sky Harbor, for sure. So this weather pattern is going to stay dry, very summer-like. Through the upcoming weekend, we have a lot of grad parties going on this weekend. Do you see any changes as far as when this summer-like pattern will wrap up?
Well, we talked about that Omega block, the big blocking pattern falling apart middle of next week. So that's basically what we're going to be watching for. Low pressure will be sitting to our west-northwest. We'll see if it breaks loose. If it comes through the neighborhood, if it stays to our north, we're still in a favorable spot to get some of that rain. But if it ducks way down south for some reason, that wouldn't set us up too well.
So don't expect any changes super fast.
No, I'd say the next 7 days,
Let's pull up that 7-day forecast one last time. Sunny and 80s in the forecast. Near 90 today, near 90 on Friday as well. Should see a little cooler weather by the end of the weekend. That's your weather. We got more news coming up next.